Upstate Pulse on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Brought to you by Borderlands Comics and Games. Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. I am your clip keeper for this evening. We are going to have a spooktacular time. Sorry, candy. Too much candy. Welcome to the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday night. And in case you didn't know, this is our Halloween special. So if you want to know what we are dressed up as, well, you'll just have to wait till we tell you, or there's another way, and I'll tell you that in just a moment. On tonight's show, we are talking Halloween. Favorite movies, favorite candy, favorite trick, if you did a trick. Cannot wait to find out if tricks or treats are bigger in Ireland. Odie's going to tell you about that. Yes. We also have a pay-per-view to pick because someone's facing the Nerf wall next week. We've got a ton of things to do on tonight's show. Thank you for taking us along with you while you're on your way to your Halloween party, because chances are there are a bunch of Halloween parties going on this evening. Probably some on Halloween, but I'm guessing there's a ton tonight. And let us guide you on your spooktacular way with some wonderful Halloween festivities, including Odie tells us that he has never tried candy corn before.
I have never had candy corn.
I have some candy corn for him to try. And so we're going to do that. We're also going to be talking about all the things I said. But before that, let me, yes, I'll get to that in a moment. If you want to be a part of the show, text line is text Flaccid to 71307, or check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or the X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WORD. Joining me tonight is Odie the Pirate.
Yarr.
And Cameron the Steampunk.
Or Victorian Pimp.
Or Victorian Pimp. Aim your mic down a little bit more so we can get a little more out of you.
Oh, we go. I got a phone. Why is the phone ringing?
Because you left it on.
Oh, I'm going to answer it.
No.
Hello, you're very welcome to News Talk.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. No, legally you can't do that.
Oh, well,
yeah.
So if someone was on the phone, who would it be?
Unless you know who it is.
Snake here calling in to let you know that I heard you're having the Halloween special without inviting me. But I wanted to let you know that the only thing scary about the Halloween special at the Upstate Pulse is your lack of humor. Luckily, me, Solid Snake, I'm here to welcome my own sense of wonderful humor.
Solid Snake just rang us and joined us.
You could let me in on that so I didn't freak out, because legally you cannot put someone on the air without letting them know they're on the air. You can't do that. So.
Yeah, I know, but it was a bit.
By the way,
it was a bit, and I completely forgot about the legal aspects.
Well, you could have told me.
It was meant to be a surprise, and then you mentioned that, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Sorry, I went into manager mode. I apologize for that. But that kind of supersedes and
broke the law, but it was a great bit.
It's like fines and things like that,
but that's and you
firings
see, and it's Halloween, and we scared the living daylights.
You did
out of the boss man.
There was a trick. You got me. You absolutely got me. Matt, Solid Snake is here also, and we've just heard from him. That would have been great if it wasn't for the little panic there. Just a little bit of panic there.
The realism there.
Well, it did.
It sure did.
I legitimately
you really sold it there. Congratulations.
Yeah. I could
really feel the lethargic panic.
Yes, that's what it was.
I don't feel like the panic was that lethargic. I feel like it was very frenetic.
Well, lethargic was the wrong word, but don't worry about it.
I am
You're not gifted
I am
with
undead.
articulation.
By the way, so if you want to see what we look like, we are all dressed for Halloween. And you can check that out. There's another place that you can dress up and have fun. And that would be South Carolina Comic-Con Junior, which is coming up tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Greenville Convention Center. It will cost you $15 to get in. And if you have a kid who's 12 and under, they get in free. And you know what else? They are having trick-or-treating at South Carolina Comic-Con Junior. So there will be designated vendors. You'll know because they'll have candy. And you can trick or treat while supplies last. So if you are bringing your kids with you to South Carolina Comic-Con Junior, and you should, they can also pick up some candy. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said, Odie says he's never tried candy corn before, which is weird because dude has done everything, but never had any candy corn. So we're going to be doing that for a little while. And let's say you see how you listen to this station and you're like, I really love WORD. And I can't blame you. But you want a way to represent WORD, we need to check out our Patriot Wear. Go to our website, click on the Patriot Wear button, and you can get the Gadsden flag, you can get the Betty Ross flag, you can get some hats, you can get T-shirts, you can get all that kind of stuff. So you can go out and you can rep the station. And when people ask you, okay, what's on that station, you can say the Upstate Pulse.
The Upstate Pulse.
That's the only, I mean, we're never going to get a T-shirt unless I pay to have one made, which I could.
I think we should put in some effort, grease some palms.
And I'm not greasing anything. But
I might be.
Okay, well, there you go. So we might end up having T-shirts eventually. But anyway, check out the website. Go to 98.9 WRD on the Odyssey app or on the computer or wherever you go, and click on the Patriot Wear and get you some. There you go. So it is Halloween, and you may be someone who doesn't celebrate Halloween. I completely get that. We're just four guys messing around, dressed up on the air. But before we got here, we decided to go dressed up to a local restaurant. And
yes. Before we do, I need to apologize to the young lady that was in our parking lot because I apparently scared the living daylights out of her. You know, when a pirate jumps out of a pickup truck and starts saying, "Hello, matey," it kind of scares people.
Now, in Lawrence County, it would have been perfectly fine.
It would have been fine.
Yeah. People dress like that there all
Uncle
the time.
Dad?
Yeah, exactly. Uncle Daddy is in Lawrence County for sure. And it's a nickname. That's what it is. It's a nickname.
A nickname.
It's an absolute nickname. Shout out to my wife who is in Florida on vacation with her sister.
Floridia.
Yeah, and she's watching now. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. It's not the first time Odie has jumped out, and last week it was two people on a motorcycle. So I mean, he just enjoys doing that. He's a man on the street. He was trying to do a man on the street interview.
You see, I've done man on the street since my very first day in Radioland, and it just won't leave me. It's just I am the man on the street.
You can leave the streets, but the streets don't leave you.
Yeah,
I'm the Vox Populator. That's what I am.
Wow, that's deep.
The streets are just another battlefield.
All right, let's calm down.
Very deep. Very, very
Sorry,
deep.
I have a little bit of PTSD, as they say.
As they say. All right,
my character.
On today's show, when we come back, because we're going to take our break. When we come back, Odie's going to try candy corn for the first time, and we are going to talk about our top 5 Halloween candies. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Text line 71307 or hit us up on the stream at 98.9 or WRD on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, or the X, or whatever. Welcome to the witching hour.
You know, that couldn't have worked any better.
You know, it doesn't help that I have such a little mouth. It doesn't match the big, it's just, what can you do?
You literally should have seen his face. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that, man.
I'm sorry. I love my job. Okay.
You know, by now, I'm not going to do anything to
You
jeopardize.
may not have taken that training.
I did.
It's impossible to train someone completely until something goes wrong or some things go wrong. And
me.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
could have
Well,
been that thing.
Huh?
This could have been the moment.
Could have been. It could have been the dump moment.
Well, maybe in
Ireland.
Yeah, that's it. Ireland. They allow you to do that, do they? Okay.
It's a gray area.
Sort of. Yeah. Okay.
It's a gray area.
Not only is this candy corn, it's dollar store candy corn.
Oh boy.
So that's going to be delicious.
The greatest of all candy corns.
But I also to wash it down, got some of this right here. So if the candy corn doesn't go really well, we got some Baby Ruths, some Butterfingers. Oh, I just noticed
Your cutlasses around.
3 of the 4 candy bars are things that stick in your teeth. The only one that does, well, no, Crunch does too, because the rice will stick in there. So it's just.
Never had a Crunch either.
You've never had a Nestle Crunch?
I don't eat that much candy bars.
Have you had a $1,000 brand?
100 grand. No. What
You've
else
had
is
a
there?
Baby Ruth?
No, I never had a Baby Ruth.
Butterfinger?
Once, but
Don't you lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Hello, everyone. Any cutlasses? Yeah, I left the cutlasses. We left the cutlasses in there.
Have you guys checked out the moon? No. Apparently, there's a moon tonight.
It was pretty vivid last night when I decided to take the trash out.
But there's actually a moon every night.
Yes.
No.
That's when he does his work.
It's like when the Irish NASA decided they were going to go to the
Wait,
sun.
there's an Irish NASA?
Yeah, they decided that they
Are
were.
they called Irish NASA?
Yeah, they
Okay.
said they were going to go to the sun, and I actually rang them up and said that's just a stupid idea, and they were like, "Odie, we're going to go at nighttime." I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
Are they the INASA?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You never heard from them again, did you?
Never heard from them again. And they said you're banned from the space missions.
Sound like a spicy trip, though.
Get out.
All right, everybody who's watching, how's my wig? Is it straight?
I dyed mine red, as you can see. And the glasses work. I don't know why, but they do.
The way you moved your head, I thought you were going to start singing "My Cherie Amor."
I text Stevie Wonder once.
There's a theory he's not blind.
Well, he never replied to me.
Yeah, well, that doesn't work with text because they have Braille and I'm
That's what I was saying. Do they
it's
have
just
text in Braille?
Yeah, they
know.
do. They do. Absolutely, they do.
Could that actually be a setting?
Yeah, well, no, it's the buttons on the phone. It can't be a setting because they still couldn't see it.
That's a fair point. So
you're right. So they couldn't read a text unless it comes out like those old cash registers where the little tiny receipts come out.
That would be interesting.
Maybe it comes out like with the bumps on it.
Well, if you can't see it, what would happen is a
It
lot
wouldn't be there.
of those are like text to speech type thing. That's how a lot of that accessibility stuff functions for blind people.
No, one thing we will never do is take lessons from Odie in anything. That would be a mistake.
Well, I might take a few lessons with some other things.
Go ahead, pirate. Lead us.
Yo ho! A very good day to you all. When I was driving back here to the studio today, I decided the best thing to do was to commandeer an extra vehicle. Some would say it's piracy. Some would just say take an extra vehicle. I didn't know. What would you call it? Matthew was
borrowing.
Yeah. My solid steak was my sidekick, and he didn't know.
The proper
where to
term
look.
is commandeering.
There we go.
I don't commandeer anything. I just take it. That's how I work. Very bad eggs.
I'm not sure I can open a candy corn without busting it. So here, you go ahead. Because if you bust it and it goes everywhere, you can clean it up.
Ghost Rider has far too much power.
There we go. Yes, that's it. It's too much power.
I'm just going to turn it upside down.
So what is your favorite candy for Halloween? Text line 71307 or hit us up on the stream at Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or the X. Or if you're Matthew and Rob Brown, call it Twitter.
I call it Twitter.
Okay, well.
All right, I'm going to try a candy corn.
He's trying a candy corn, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, here we go. Just do you go white side or yellow side first?
It doesn't matter. Put it all in your mouth.
Okay. That's just a little ball of sugar right there.
That's exactly all it is. Yeah, it's just sugar.
It's not bad.
Well, let me try one to see if it tastes like actual candy corn.
Like at the end of the day, it's night. So
I'd like to tell you that you've had that stuck in my head for
yeah, me too.
Weeks now.
Yeah, it tastes like candy corn.
It tastes like.
Would you like a candy corn?
I'll take a candy corn.
So Odie tried his first candy corn.
Matthew, is that a no?
He wasn't.
I'm good.
That's what I thought.
He wasn't too terrible about it. You know, that's fine. Candy corn is
Okay.
good.
Well, there you go. Now you've tried it. There's
so
also
good
some
about
other candy bars that he has not tried. All right. Which one do you want to give it a shot? Do you want to try? You had Baby Ruth, right?
No, I've never had a Baby Ruth.
Here's what I'm going to do. Here, catch.
Yeah. That's a
Good
terrible
job.
catch.
Here, I'm going to throw this one to you too.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, I got that one.
Yeah. And,
Got that one. If you're watching live
yeah,
on
there we go.
an Xbox.
All right.
Watching live on the Xbox.
Yeah, watching live on X.
You can do that. You can
Of course you
absolutely do
could.
that. You
Hey,
can
I've
also-
been on that thing before.
Yes, you have. All right. One more.
Okay.
One more. There you go.
And we got them.
All right. Now you've got them all.
I've got them all. I'm going to try them throughout the show. I'm going to be trying them. I've got in front of me a Crunch, a Butterfinger, and 100 grand. And there's something on the floor. So how about you text in on the Flaccid text line, and you can let me know what I should try next. We actually have a lot on the Flaccid text
All right.
line.
Just give them a second.
Okay.
And let's talk about this first as we're talking about candy while Odie figures out where the other one went. Because Tim will step on it, but he'll still eat it. Last year, the top 10 sellers for candy around Halloween were Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Peanut M&Ms, regular M&Ms, Tootsie Pops, Twizzlers, Hershey's Milk Chocolate, Sour Patch Kids, Candy Corn, Kit Kat, and Starburst. So a lot of those, I like them all, including Candy Corn. I'm okay with it. If they have it and it's the only thing, I'm going to eat some of it. But as Odie pointed out, it's basically just sugar.
It's just sugar.
Yeah. So, I mean, eating too much of it could be a bad idea if you have to get up early or something. So I cannot do that. So I asked each of the guys
Mm-hmm.
to,
I got to get my lists.
to put forth the top 5 Halloween candies. And we're going to go around the room. And I'll go first. My number 5 favorite candy, and then we don't need a drum roll unless someone can roll their R's. Yes. Lee. Number 5 for me are M&Ms. Cameron, what's your number 5 candy?
Number 5 for me are Twizzlers.
All right. We're just going to go clockwise. Matthew.
I think I'll go with Crunch Bar.
There we go. All right. And Odie.
Candy corn.
It's a newfound favorite. My number 4 is going to bother some people, but I'm okay with that. It's Smarties. A lot of people said they can't stand Smarties. I love Smarties.
I used to love Smarties. as a
You
kid.
know, the best part about Smarties is it's popular to not like them.
Okay.
And so the people who don't like them give them to you. And so you get everyone else's Smarties.
The dislike surplus.
Yes, it is. Your number 4 candy, Cameron.
I think Reese's in this case.
Okay, Reese's. Matthew, since your mouth is full.
I'm gonna go with what were I thinking? M&Ms.
M&M's for number 4. Odie.
Irish Smarties.
What are Irish Smarties?
Completely different to your Smarties.
Okay, well, explain.
They would kind of like M&Ms, but they're different because they've got a harder shell.
Okay.
Is that why teeth are? Yeah, but that's Britain. That's not Irish.
That's not even Irish.
Teeth are fun because Irish teeth are stronger
40
and they can handle eating the Smarties, unlike those stinking British people whose teeth break.
Who we like. But
Yeah,
they're stinking tonight.
yeah, they're all right, but they can't eat Smarties.
40
Irish Smarties.
42 years on this planet, I don't have a filling in my head, and I have all of my teeth.
Good for you. So
Yes.
Irish Smarties. Can you import
Irish.
those?
I can try.
Because I would like to try one.
Well,
I
can
will
you
try.
smuggle them since
yes,
you're a pirate?
yes.
As a pirate.
All right, number 3 for
Make sure you double
me.
bag it.
Number 3 for me are Snickers. Cameron, what's your number 3 candy, favorite Halloween candy of all time?
I'd say gummies, more like Sour Patch.
Okay, which? Sour Patch
I'll
gummies.
say Sour Patch
Okay, Matthew.
specifically.
Kit Kat.
There we go.
Haribo worms.
What kind of worms?
Haribo.
Haribo?
Mm.
Okay, not Haribo.
Why
Jelly
are we
worms.
talking about
Jelly
hairy
worms.
worms?
Jelly worms.
Yeah,
You
jelly
mean like
worms.
gummy worms?
Yeah, gummy worms.
Okay, all right.
We got there.
Okay, all right. I hope they're not really hairy because that would be kind of
Harry,
weird.
Haribo. Harrybo. Haribo.
Okay, so it's a name brand.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Why are you iffy about that?
Yeah,
Please don't
'cause,
be
I
iffy
mean,
about
I
that.
don't know.
Because
if
he's
it's
never
a-
thought about it that way.
I've
All right.
never had to think about it.
Number 2 for me is Kit Kat. Cameron, what's your number 2 candy of all time?
Jolly Rancher, specifically green apple.
Oh man, you like hard candy? That's weird. It's not chocolate. All right, Matthew. It's okay. It's your
You
list.
don't know what number 1 is. I'm
Sour
eclectic.
Patch.
Okay, he went Sour Patch. Odie.
Hambags.
Hamburgers?
Hambags.
Handbags.
Hamburger.
What? What?
Hamburger.
What?
Hamburger. I'm saying humbugs. You
Humbugs.
I'll just hit him in the back
Like
of the head with
Ma?
my cane and I'll reset
like
him.
Ba?
White Scrooge eats.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, humbugs. A humbug is a candy. It's a hard candy.
Is it really?
It's like a sucky sweet.
Okay, all right.
I just imagine it would be bitter.
Speaking of sweet,
it's nice.
my
Peppermint.
number one favorite Halloween candy is sweet tarts. But I used to do something weird with sweet tarts. I would take milk duds
Sweet
and put the sweet tarts in the milk duds.
I haven't had sweet tarts in forever. I used to love those things.
Yeah, same when I was a child.
For a while, when I had the band for like a decade, we used to have the sour sweet tarts. That's one of the things that we would get all the time.
You had a band, bro?
Yes.
Sorry about that, Dad.
For like, stop it, Cameron. It was for a decade. All right, Cameron, what is your number one candy?
Hershey Kisses.
There you go.
It's always good to get some kisses.
It is. It's a wonderful thing. Matthew, what's your number one candy?
Hershey Symphony.
What is Hershey's Symphony?
It's a Hershey's bar, but it's more milk chocolatey.
It's got
It's a smoother taste. I use it in my brownies as well.
Is it bittersweet?
It
No,
has a
it's
full
very sweet.
orchestra.
Okay. All right.
With his symphony, he's got a full orchestra in his.
Yeah, no, it's bittersweet
get it.
sympathy.
Look.
That's what I did there.
Now we're
All right.
still reading from the same hymn sheet.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
we are.
Yes, we are. What is your number one?
Flying saucers.
Okay. What the heck are flying saucers?
Flying saucers are sugar covered in sugar with a bit of sugar inside it, and then top it all with sugar.
Do they look like AEPs?
They actually, you see, yeah,
What is an AEP?
UFO.
yeah, they do.
They just changed the name because they thought,
Yes, they do. They look like flying. They look like a little flying saucer, and they've got sherbet inside them.
sherbet.
Was there a cow or
I
Freddie
would
Mercury
like
in there?
some sherbet, please.
Can I have some sherbet?
I would like some sherbet. All right, on the stream, Chris says his favorite is Payday. Trey asked, he points out that the Victorian Pimp is sitting next to me. Let's see. JD says, "What's up, dudes? I got a couple of texts. And I'm down with Smarties. My boys love them. That's cool."
Mm-hmm.
And JD, actually, I was going to go with Ghost Rider, but I'm the bad guy from House 2. Except I haven't decayed that much yet. It's like when he first started losing stuff. So it's not quite there yet.
Little bits.
Another decade, I'll be a little more green.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So if you don't know who the bad guy is from House 2, you should check it out.
Yeah, give it a look.
It's an awesome movie. It really is. It's a good movie. If you're into that.
On the
Look, Trey says Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Trey,
All right.
you know what it is.
He looked it up.
Chris
Come on.
asked something there. Chris said, was I a leprechaun? Was I a leprechaun?
No, he's a pirate.
I'm a pirate. I mean,
Come on, he's a pirate.
there's more than one Irish leprechaun in the upstate that talks to people.
Is there?
There's a
Not-
registry.
Not really.
Okay. All right. If you say so. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about our favorite trick. If anybody did tricks. Now, listen, I'm just going to preface this before we get there that we do not condone doing these things when we talk about them, especially the one that I'm going to talk about. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on Spooky 98.9 WORD.
There, I want to entertain.
I can feel the mask going into my brain.
I can't wear the eye patch for more than 20 or 30 minutes.
All I can say is Chris lied.
'Cause
This
it's
light is
over my
hot.
eye and it's just constantly rubbing on it, and it just gets like sore and extremely uncomfortable.
All right. So which kind of candy bar will be disturbing for me to eat?
A Baby Ruth.
Yeah, you can't. Because it's Twitch, you can't block and you can't do anything like that. Yeah, I saw it.
I'm going to
We all
try.
saw it.
That's what I'm going to try now. It's a Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruths are pretty good.
And for my favorite, I should have put Butterfingers on.
Reese's cups are coming in
want
a
one?
lot.
Not a Butterfinger, but I'll take another piece of candy.
Okay. You want another crunch?
Give me a Baby Ruth.
All right.
Yum, yum, yum.
Seeing if I have any spatial awareness left.
I'm not a big lover. The butterfree or the baby roots.
They're not the best, but I like them.
I mean, I don't think it's anything to write home about. Unless you're in the Goonies and is Root, baby.
I consider Baby Ruth
Hey,
as
you
a
guys!
trio with Three Musketeers and Milky Way. I don't know why. It's an arbitrary classifications that I put them in,
Arbitrary.
but it's definitely the weakest of those three. Snickers
Thank you,
is a very
JD.
similar thing to Baby Ruth, and it's just infinitely better.
Call 882-1555 or visit us at dollysroofing.com. Do you ever feel like your life is going round and round in circles? Like you want to move forward in your relationships and your career, but life just seems to take you for a ride.
Take lessons.
Why does that sound so nefarious?
California Psychics! There they are!
Find yourself spiraling.
Southern Psychics.
Oh, I lost the thing. No! What in the world? Let's make it. Jackpot!
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, you can't see anything.
No, I can't.
Show you something, but
I gotta like tilt my head up. Let me see.
you might have to take it so that you can move it around into your vision.
What did we talk about so far?
That's pretty good.
I didn't know that it came out until I started
Hip-hop-
seeing everybody post
Hip-Hop
it on
Anonymous?
Twitter, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Hip Hop
Isn't
Anonymous.
he doing like his own horror movie?
Markiplier? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is. Like called Iron Lung or something like that.
I don't know. I'm aware that he exists, and that's kind of the extent of my modern knowledge of Markiplier.
Oh, same.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. It is our Halloween special. We're all dressed up, ready for a good spooktacular night. I'm the bad guy from House 2, and I forget his name.
That guy.
And Odie is Odie the pirate.
Yarr.
And Solid Snake is right over there.
Apparently.
I took off my costume because it's uncomfortable to my eye.
And because he is now undercover.
Wait,
Yes.
you've always had two eyes?
It was a fashion statement.
Depends on which version of me you're talking about.
Exactly.
You know, pirates didn't actually wear patches because they had like an eye missing. Well, One-Eyed Willie did because, well, he was One-Eyed Willie.
Yes. Well, there's that.
But the rest of the pirates, they used to do it so that when they went below decks, they could see. They wouldn't lose their night vision because there was no lights below decks.
There was no torches or lanterns or
Not
anything?
very
Pirate
good ones.
facts.
Well, I mean, they would have been out in the sun, and then when they would have had to go down into the below decks, they'd remove their eye patch, and that eye would be a good eye for seeing the pirate stuff.
That's wild.
All right, I got to tell you, you can be completely fooling us right now.
No,
I just-
that's-
I mean, you know.
That's what I was told.
Okay, all right, because I just tonight the guilty
good night of
shall
mine.
suffer.
The
Nah, Rob Brown's not on the show. So
No.
yeah, so the
They
guilty
trained
will not
themselves
suffer.
for proper nighttime visibility. I respect the dedication.
There we go.
That's a solid.
I like
statement.
how you skipped over me.
Oh well, that's because the pirate jumped in, and I did.
We were getting there.
It's just
I
Did
don't
you
need-
learn some patience?
and
I have no patience.
he told us about something that I wasn't aware of, and so he stole your thunder, so to speak. And the steampunk dandy is right over there.
Yes. And I, being a steampunk dandy, don't like being upstaged, especially by a mongrel pirate.
Well, you see, at the end of the day, I don't care.
Yes,
Frankly,
there we
my
go.
damn, I don't give a dear.
Yes, and
You know, if
we
I
don't
hit
wanna
you
see
with a
that fight.
cane, you might actually get that sentence right.
He might. He might fix that thing and that crooked eye and all that kind of stuff. All right. So around Halloween, it is trick or treat. And we here at the Upstate Pulse and 98.9 WRD and Odyssey do not condone such tricks, but we're going to talk about some tricks that we did. Some of us did. And I'm
Okay.
talking about Halloween tricks. I don't know if you guys have any, but I'm going to tell you I have a couple, but I will tell you my best one of all time. So
Mhm.
in high school, there was a freshman who came in to the football team, and my coaches said initiate him. I had no idea what they meant, so they just lined him up in front of me, and I would knock him back 10 to 15 yards.
Mhm.
And they just kind of nodded after I did it once, so I kept doing it. So
Mhm.
I did not know that he was best friends with one of my best friends. So one day he went to his house, and I came over and just stood there and stared at him, and it freaked him out. So after a while,
Stood there and stared at him.
yeah, I just wanted to, because it was fun. So after a while, he knew that I was friends with his friend. And one night around Halloween, we decided to go pick him up just on a whim. And he was at a party, and he had been imbibing. And so we took him out into the middle of the woods, which is, believe it or not that hard to find in Columbus, Ohio. But we went to another town where I just happened to work. So I knew there were a lot of woods. There was an old timey cemetery. We went there. He was good and freaked out already. Then we were driving, and one of the guys in the passenger side said, "Hey, I got a pee, pull over." So we pulled over. And so my friend, who was his friend, and the other guy, they went on the side of the road to go. And then one jumped on the other, and the other one started screaming. And it's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I started freaking out. And so this guy, he's no longer with us, but his name was Eric. And I'm like, Eric, what is going on? What is going on, dude? Why are they doing it? And he's like, I don't know. He's freaking out. So then the friend that was also his friend, I don't want to say his name because he is with us.
Okay.
He walks out in front of the headlights. Like I said, we're out in the middle of the woods.
Mhm.
There are no street lights or anything. It's really dark. And when he jumped the other guy who stayed down, he put a blood pellet in his mouth. So he went over, and then Eric turned around. He's like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Be one with us, Eric." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Be one with the thirst. Be like us." And he just starts freaking out. "You're freaking me out. This ain't real, man." "It is real, Eric." And then I told my friend, I was like, "Show him what he's going to become." So he stood there in front of the headlights and just let the blood go down his chin, drip onto his shirt, and it just kept blood pellets. They're like, they taste like sugar.
Yeah.
And you put them like under your tongue.
Yeah.
And it makes and they look, especially in certain lights, they look really good.
And yeah, back in the 90s in the dark with just the car lights, yes, they would have looked fantastic.
All right. So
Or
he
in the
starts
80s.
he starts freaking out. It probably would have been
The 80s.
it would have been like late 80s, maybe 90.
Mhm.
So the friend who's pretending like he's a vampire walks over, yanks him out of the car, the guy that's freaked out, and bites him on the neck. And he really bit him. So he really bit him. And so when he bit him, the blood went all down his neck that was in his mouth.
Yeah.
And he just stood in the middle of the woods and just started screaming. He's just screaming, and he's touching his neck, and he's screaming. And then we jumped in the car and left him.
You see,
Then we came back and got him, and he was laughing about it and everything. But
you see,
he never looked at us the same way after that.
yeah,
It was wrong.
I can imagine
It was wrong.
on so many levels.
And here's the thing. It wasn't planned.
There's a thing.
It was not planned. You know that group of friends that you're with, and just one person does something, and everyone kind of like the show, where
Yes.
people just go with it.
Why
was-
does he
Yeah.
have a blood pellet on hand?
He had it in his pocket
Why
because we had
not?
just went and bought some. He had it in his pocket. I seen him jump him. When he walked around, I saw a little bit of it come out of his mouth, I knew what he was doing,
Mm.
and so I just went with it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it was planned, it still would have been cool. But the fact that we just did it on a whim, and so that is the biggest trick that I ever pulled on someone. And again, we don't condone tricks here.
Not even
I was a
slightly.
young man, and I didn't have the empathy that I have for my fellow man now. And I realize now that I hurt him, and that I scared him just for a laugh, and that was wrong. Does anybody else have any tricks? Anybody?
Not that I can
technically
say.
do.
I'm
Yeah,
not
go.
much of a practical jokester, but there was this one time. You see, I was calling into this radio show, and this one nerdy guy thought that we were breaking some laws. Turns out it wasn't the case. Wait, hey, you were there.
Yeah,
I think you'll find
yeah.
that you called into a pirate radio station, mate.
Yes, it was a pirate
and,
radio
and we
station.
just kind of took over.
Yeah.
I just fired both my cannons and answered the phone. And next thing you know, Ghost Rider's kind of like, "What are you doing? You can't do that." And I said, "It's all right, matey. It's all planned, innit?"
Yeah, you sound
so
slightly
anyway,
like Ricky Gervais.
If you guys, if you guys missed the beginning of the show, they got me. They did. They got me good. They probably didn't expect it to do what it did. They didn't expect me to react that way. And
they didn't think of the legal
definitely
interference.
wasn't
because
expected.
my thought at that moment was, if LexCorp is listening, we're in trouble. So that was my thought. JD on stream says, I thought Lonzo was going to say he toilet papered someone else. Not what I expected. No, I'm a little more creative than toilet paper. What can I say?
You went a little hard with that.
Yeah, I did.
I do know.
I have-
It was the 80s. That's just the way we did
the
things.
80s.
It was the
bro.
80s. That's
Yeah.
That's how you
Lost
explain
Boys
everything.
had just come out, and yeah.
We were hanging off train tracks over the river, man.
So does running a scare thing like count as tricking?
Just doing what?
Slightly?
Like doing kind of having basically doing a haunted house.
Nah, not really.
No, because that's
Not like an
expected.
official one.
That's expected.
No, but it was like in a neighborhood and they were not expecting it.
No, it's not really a prank.
Well, you know
'cause-
what? I'm going to tell the story anyway.
Okay,
So
don't think we can stop him.
it was my first night.
Well, we could. It's almost break time.
do
But
what we
we'll
could.
let it go.
He's got no headphones on, so you wouldn't hear the music.
Yeah, I wouldn't
you
know. So first Halloween doing a little bit of some scare stuff for a buddy of mine at his uncle's house. He dressed up like Jason. I dressed up like the Joker. It was The Dark Knight had just come out that year, and it wasn't oversaturated with Jokers at that point. Picked our positions and stuff, and it was like my freshman year in high school. So these two guys who were older than us start walking down, and they're just like, "You think anything's gonna be at that house, man?" "No, nothing's gonna be at that house. I think we probably just can get some candy." And so they're just talking to each other back and forth, a little bit nervous. So they walk past the tree I was behind. I walk behind and was like, "Good evening, gentlemen." And they freaked out. Like I saw their souls pop out of their bodies for a second and pop back in.
Well, they weren't Irish or ginger, so. you know.
Yes, well.
Yeah, exactly. So they start running, and the guy who was the most nervous fell over and just got into the fetal position, and his boy just left him. And I was like, well, that's a shame. He's going to miss the chainsaw. And my buddy, who's dressed as Jason, comes around the corner, revving a chainsaw that doesn't have the actual chain on it. And this dude is just full blown crying his eyes out. And I'm and me and my buddy Austin are just standing over him, just like, is he being serious right now? And like after a second, I just like tap Austin, like, yeah, it's turn off. And I was like,
You see, and that's you just sometimes you go too far with things, and then sometimes you don't go too far enough. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's night.
Yes. We are going to take a break. When we come back, I'm curious
I put on the wrong music.
if they actually have trick or treat in Ireland. Do they? I don't know. When we come back, we'll ask Odie.
That could be something to ask him.
We will ask Odie. So if you have any questions for Odie, we will ask Odie the Halloween edition when we
we're
come
gonna
back.
ask him, right?
Yeah, we're going to ask you something. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 98.9 WORD, the voice of the spectacular.
I know all of those things. I don't think that played on the. That outro was playing on the stream, so that joke probably didn't make much sense. Pass me a crunch bar, why don't you, friend, please? If you'd be so kind.
Which one?
Crunch bar.
I can't tell my one.
Okay. All right.
Huh.
Thank you.
Well, if you're who I think you are, I wonder if it was the same one. Trying to think. Were you?
That's terrible.
I think that was.
What's terrible? Butterfinger? No, you got to eat the whole thing. Why'd you take?
You don't like
Take a
Butterfingers?
bite. Take a bite. There's your trash can. That's un-American. That
How
you don't like
dare you.
Butterfinger. That's so.
You're getting leveled down. Whatever you're at right now for citizenship, you get leveled down.
Butterfingers are terrible, man. I'm sorry. I don't like them.
They're pretty bad.
Welcome to the Halloween mukbang, JD.
That's just kind of like.
Welcome to the Upstate Pulse Halloween mukbang.
Save it. Come back with Ask Odie.
I did.
Stick around long enough and maybe I'll try teaching these losers some fundamentals of CQC.
So, JD, are you saying that an adult can eat candy?
Kylie, come on. It's disheartening.
Yeah. I go with JD on that one.
So, if you like, make sure that you drop all the Butterfingers off at the office 25 Garlington Road and say care of Odie because he wants all the Butterfingers.
How about no?
He's trying to help you out, you know.
I know, yeah, no, I see what you're doing there, but no.
How many times is this commercial going to play?
He should know.
Stop
He
it!
should, yeah. My earbuds are stuck in my wig. I got it though. We're good now.
Are you actually?
What?
Are you actually wearing a wig? No.
Are you serious? Are you really?
Dave's
I think
not
you've just
here, man.
gaslit
I think
Odie.
your head thing's on too tight, bro.
My brain is not
You might want to loosen
circulating.
the bandana, friend.
My brain
La,
isn't
la, la,
circulating,
la,
but
la,
you know,
la, la,
I like it.
La 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 la.
they can't see why they don't hear the music, so they don't know why we're dancing.
It's all right. We're la la.
La la la
La la la la la.
la
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 la la la.
la
La.
la la la
La la la la la.
la.
And then we just have death.
So this is why you need to watch all the time, even during the ad breaks, because this is where we let out the really important information. La 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 la.
I'm suffering here right now.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse Halloween edition, and it's time for the Ask Odie Halloween edition. My first question, by the way, you have a question for Odie, text line 71307, or hit us up on the stream. We've already got some questions for Odie in the Ask Odie question segment. Eventually, we're going to run out of Ask Odie questions, just not today. All right, so my first question, is there Halloween in Ireland, and is it the same as it is here?
Not only is there Halloween in Ireland, but Halloween originated in Ireland.
Knew that was coming.
It was Ireland who gave the world Halloween.
I feel like this is how
And
most
we-
of my stories start, but continue.
We actually gave it to the world so much that we lost it completely. And then we got it back because all the Americans came over to kiss the Blarneys down and gave us back a little bit of the Ireland.
So in your mind, is that what Americans sound like?
The ones that go to Ireland do.
Oh,
Some of them.
Some people
Some of
are
them
of Irish descent, and they just want to
Yeah.
go where their ancestors
Find the
came from.
roots under the tree.
Yes,
There you
which
go.
is usually where the roots are.
That's it.
So, but you've been in America for how many years now?
6 years.
All right. So I don't know if you live in a neighborhood. I'm guessing you don't.
It's a sparsely populated subdivision.
Okay. So have you experienced Halloween as far as the kids going out and all that kind of stuff? I'm just curious.
Slightly.
Is that how it's done in Ireland?
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
all
It's
right.
become very Americanized. It never was that. It was a pagan ritual, and it was when the two worlds were almost colliding, the spirit world and the living world, and it was Iha Hauna. That's what the Irish for Halloween is. It's the night of the souls, and Iha Hauna got turned into Halloween. Don't ask me how, but it did.
I thought
And
it was
that's-
Old Hallows Eve.
Yes, that's what I.
You're
heard, too.
welcome. I got tired
Yeah.
of all the spookiness and I wanted some candy.
Well, that's it. And
It's supposed to be during the witching hour of Old Hallows Eve or Heave.
Yeah.
If you eat too much
Old
candy.
Hallows
Heave-
If you eat
Heave-ho.
too much candy, it is Old Hallows
and
Eve.
we
And supposedly it's when the veil is supposed to be
yes, it's
thinnest.
the thinnest through it.
Yes.
We used to carve turnips, not pumpkins.
wait,
Turnips?
wait. How big are the turnips?
Normal turnip size.
So about softball size?
Yeah, about softball size. A little bit
Okay.
bigger.
All right.
So they got like
How
little-
does one does when one carves a turnip,
Yes.
do you clean out the inside of it like you would a pumpkin?
No.
Okay,
don't.
so you basically like draw faces and stuff
You
on the turnip.
carve a face into it, and it was to ward off the spirits. Any of the
Yeah.
spirits,
Do you hang the turnip?
hang them in your window.
Okay, all right,
Mhm.
all right. Interesting.
Mm.
So if you got attacked by like a werewolf or something,
Yeah.
like some sort of ghost, you just throw turnips at them?
No, I'd bring them for a pint.
So when you were a kid,
Yeah.
like here, you go to the pumpkin patch and you get a pumpkin, you take it back home and you carve it. Did you go to the turnip patch to pick out the turnip? I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
here.
No. We didn't because the ritual kind of died,
Oh, okay.
and then there was a re-Irishening of Ireland in about 1999, about
Well,
2000.
it'll happen, and every once in a while, a country will rediscover itself.
And it
so,
did. It
yes.
rediscovered itself completely, and a lot of the older traditions came back then.
Okay, so anyway, what do you carve into a turnip?
What would I carve personally, or what would a normal law-abiding citizen carve?
All
into
right,
it?
so what would a children?
A children would
Yes.
probably a little face.
Okay, just
Yeah.
a little face, and but you can't put a candle in a turnip.
A little face or a
No.
whittle face?
You can't get blood out of it
Little.
either, but you could put a.
Depends on if you cut yourself when you're
well,
doing
there's
it.
that, but then you're putting blood on it, not getting it out of it,
Well, I mean,
unless you like
yeah.
filled it with. But you would have to hollow
I
it
mean,
out.
turnips are tough.
Yes, they are.
I've
That's why
never carved
So-
a turnip.
I'm just curious how what kind of utensil they. Obviously, it's something sharp, but do they have a turnip carving? Because they have pumpkin carving
Yeah.
tools.
I'm going to
that you
go.
can buy.
I'm going to say a shillelagh.
Okay, you can't. Shillelaghs aren't sharp.
Have
Do
you
you
ever
bludgeon the tournament? Turnip?
Well, you could.
I do love bludgeoning tournaments.
Yes, that's a totally different
I've been-
thing. Different holiday. My
I've
bad.
Been to many bludgeoning tournaments.
All right.
If
So
I-
it's
no.
inefficient.
Otherwise known as Pound Day.
I prefer clean kills.
yes, it is. Viper
I
Dave.
don't.
Viper Dave says he has a question for Odie.
Yeah.
I'm screaming.
Why or why not?
Well, it depends
Wow.
Depends on what.
on whether you should or shouldn't.
JD says Odie's bandana is so tight he lost his accent. It happens. it does. It does. It
Well,
happens.
he's actually Canadian.
man. Over here in Canada, that poor girl in the restaurant.
Yeah, you were going.
You're
full
always
on.
the one who
Yeah.
does it.
I
You
went.
say that poor person.
I have to run interference, and it's like doing a
We both
routine.
do.
Yeah, it's.
You know, I'm a handful.
Now you know why we don't invite you,
I
because
am.
it's that everywhere we go.
Yes. Excuse
I
the
sure
Irishman.
was sitting there being a part of that. Well, less being a part of it, more being adjacent and,
And wishing
dealing
it
with
was a full menu so he could hide behind it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
just shrinking as it goes on.
In on the text line, actually, on the flaccid text line 713, 07.
It's a
It
zero.
is the best Irish Halloween tricks is the old flicking the plums. And I know who that one comes in from. I think that one comes in from what was it?
I think it was JD. I think.
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it
but
just
He
it
said
was
the same thing in the stream chat.
yeah, it was talked about on the fan when I filled in. But flicking the plums.
yeah, it would be on that show because
Yeah.
that show. They probably laughed for 15 minutes and then came back from break and laughed some more.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, well, I'm not
You
talking.
know.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
We would never say that about
I
Dr.
I believe that you are above sophomoric.
Not
You're at
even
least a
slightly.
junior.
Yeah.
You're at least a junior.
He's in summer classes in his sophomore
Yes,
year.
well, you know, however you need to get to the graduation, that's all. All right, let's take a moment to talk about the TV show that scared us to death. We're going to talk about scary movies in the next hour. What is the TV show when you were a kid that scared the crap out of you to the point you were like you couldn't sleep without the light on?
Erie, Indiana. There was a TV show.
No,
Erie,
I
Indiana.
remember.
Yeah.
It had what's his name?
Yeah,
Edward
that guy.
Furlong.
Yeah,
from T2. I thought he was in it.
I think so. He could have
I,
been.
I believe it was him.
Tim Snow was in that?
Yeah,
And-
yeah. He's an astute actor. Yes.
Excuse me, I apologize. And
He
some
just
of,
said, "Bro."
some of the X-Files.
Some of the X-Files. Okay.
Some of the X-Files gave me the heebies and
The truth is out there, Odie.
the GBs.
Yes.
I had heebie-jeebies.
If you get the heebies and the jeebies, you know that it's doing its job. Matthew, any TV show? We're not talking about movies. We're talking about TV shows that scared you when you were a kid,
For me, when
which
I
was like
a
a
kid,
year ago or something. 'cause-
last
it
week,
was
'cause he's
a
about
lot
12.
more than a year ago. I'm 27, so it was a lot more than a year ago. But when I was a kid, Courage the Cowardly Dog. That
Stupid
was,
dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
some of the stuff in
Return
that
the
show was
slab.
legitimately
I-
so creepy.
I could see why that would freak a kid
which
out.
was part
to
of the
the
point.
point-
It was meant to be scary for kids.
I can't remember. Is that one of the shows I wouldn't let you watch?
No, that was the show you let me watch.
Yeah, it's just
And it was terrifying.
it was just Ed and
Yeah.
Eddie. I wouldn't let you watch because they were a very bad influence, and I didn't want
like
to. Have
that,
to
isn't it?
yeah. I didn't want someone who was smart enough to try some of that stuff. All right, I will tell you.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yes, Cameron, what was the scariest TV show for you?
Well, Courage is taken. So I'll go with when I was a little kid and first watching Supernatural. That scared me some.
Okay, yeah, there were some episodes that I was like, oh, probably shouldn't have let him watch
yeah,
that.
borderline.
It
I
was-
probably should have let me watch that.
it was too late,
It's
and
like, well,
and
that's
get the look from the wife, like, why? It's like I didn't know what it was about.
Yeah,
I don't read the synopsis or whatever. I want to be surprised like everybody
we had
else.
dark shadows on the text.
Yeah. Keep those coming. We'll get to more of those after the top of the hour break. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse Halloween edition right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Kill them for a second.
okay. It's just a little freaky.
It's unsettling.
Statute of limitations, you know.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever
It's in New York.
know a show called Lazy Town as a kid?
Oh,
You know what, Kylie?
had
I
seen
thought
it a little bit.
Teletubbies was kind of freaky
The
too,
puppets
especially
they
the
used in
kid
that
and the son.
were a bit
I think the kid and the
unsettling, too.
son
You know
was
the kid and the
freaky.
son has.
Not like
That just had a
scary,
baby,
scary
yes.
unsettling, but like looking
What are you
back, on
doing?
it, thinking, you know, those
My
are
arm-
really
My sleeves keep getting caught on things.
creepy designs.
You still look piratey without the jacket, so you're good.
Yar.
Yeah, the kid and the son from Teletubbies, and I'm the adult, bothered me.
I love how that show has like suddenly been gaining like over the past several years a bunch of relevance again. So funny.
It's back.
Lazy Town.
No, they've made a new Teletubbies.
Oh no,
Oh,
Lazy
Teletubbies.
Town. That's with the dude with the big chin thing. Am I thinking of the same? Yeah, that was
He
kind of
died,
funky.
didn't
What was his name? Like Chaticus or something?
I don't know.
Sporticus.
Sporticus.
He died.
I was going to say
recently.
Chaticus sounds
Oh, is he
about
dead?
right.
I
Oh, that's unfortunate.
we're gonna come back and talk about this a little bit
What
more
is-
because we have a bunch on the stream, and I don't know if we have any
That shit ran
texts
like
about it,
20 years
but
ago,
I haven't
so
said mine
at
yet.
least.
So
Probably more than that. So I'm not surprised.
I've got boogers up my nose.
I gotta wear this
Well,
again
the victim.
Tuesday. I think I'll do it without the makeup though.
I just remember
I've
the
got
villain guy
blisters on me fingers.
whose goal was just to make everybody lazy. You just sit around and not do anything.
When I get home, I am taking this wig off and I am going to let my bald head breathe.
You
When
wear
I
a
get
wig,
home,
man.
I'm gonna get
Of course.
bored.
I wear a wig every day. This stuff ain't natural. Look at it. You can do this with real hair.
Can't believe I said that.
Yeah, me either.
You got gaslit
I
so
was there. I
hard,
still
don't
can't
you?
believe it.
I know.
What a great job it would have been by me if I actually was wearing a wig and I fooled you for a couple months. Dude, I'll wait a year for a punchline. So I definitely could. There's some punchlines I've been waiting on for 10 years.
Or he'll surprise you in a cemetery.
Well, there's that, you know.
Cannot believe I got that done. No, not that.
I will say I actually did a trick, but it's not related to Halloween. College.
That's the
fun
best
times.
one to me.
What, V?
I'm good. I think the crunch out of the ones we have is the best.
Oh, great.
I would tell you one thing. This mask hurts. It's pressing against my nose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like a big old dent.
Oh, mine's killing me.
That's why I took my.
Now we
iPad
sound like
off.
old men. This mask is killing me.
How long do we have to keep this up?
I can't. So you're okay with that?
Not bad.
It's chewy.
Hmm.
The big ones are maybe a little much. It's a $100,000 bar, but it looks
That
like
word there.
it's supposed to be a $100,000 bar.
There's a word right there.
Is there a word?
Yeah. That first one after Rich.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have my glasses on, and I got this thing pressing against my nose.
Okay.
I can read. There are just certain distances.
I
can't
could try to
from.
read it.
Yeah, you go for that.
Hey, I was able to make my way around the restaurant and I didn't hit anything.
Making my way down the restaurant, not hitting anything. Da 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 diddle diddle do.
So we go in the restaurant, we get looks, which you know you do, and then a guy that we know works there. Cameron knows him better than I do, and he comes over and just pulls up a chair and starts talking to us, and then makes more people look at us. That's why you do it.
Who are these guys? How do they know him?
I remember being in the middle of a Friendly restaurant. His name is Friendly. The restaurant was Friendly.
Edgar friendly.
Yeah, well, yeah. And his brother Joe. And we had just went to a Halloween contest, and my cousin had dressed up his little brother like Pinhead, used latex, used stirring straws as the pins, and like melted the ends. It looked really good. So we sit there while we ate our meal, and he peeled parts of his face off. And all these people were just looking, getting grossed out. And by the time we were done with our meal, everybody was gone. I don't know why.
I should cocoa with
we're
us.
just all out of there. I also dressed as Jason, and there was a restaurant across the street called Dan's Drive-In. And I stood behind a pole, and there's this guy eating by himself. And I'd step out from beyond the pole and stare at him for a while. Then I'd creep back behind the pole, and you'd see him looking, and he couldn't see me. Then I'd creep back out. It's a memory from 30 years ago, but I had so much fun doing that. It's so weird. I used to keep a Jason costume in my trunk in case
Just in
I
case.
needed it.
Just in
Yes.
case.
Well,
I've got
you
a
know,
lot of text.
Always going to have that.
okay.
handy.
You never know when someone needs Jason to show up, which I did a couple hay rides.
Hay rides.
I was
Hey.
in shape then. I'd be in one place and I'd run for like 10 minutes straight, and then the thing would come back around and I'd be in a different spot.
Oh.
I thought for sure it was two different people and it was just me.
It's the same guy.
Do something, Odie.
Yeah, there's something there. So you're very welcome back to the Upstate Pulse on News Talk 98.9.
You could at least play music. See, music would have covered it. Music would have covered it.
I do believe we need to discipline the pirate.
Yeah, you know what? Last week, you went noobless. This week, not so much. You're having such a good time. Again, the scarf is too tight on his head. That's what it is. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse with Lonzo. Hold on. And Cameron. And Matthew. And Noob. There he is, right over there. Noob. All right, before we went to the break, we were talking about the show that scared you the most as you're a kid, when you were a kid. Everybody gave theirs. We're going to get to the text line. We're going to get to the stream. I'm going to give you two for me. One was HR Puffin stuff. Now, I'm old. HR Puffin stuff freaked me out. It just really did. The puppets and everything were just, it was very, very strange. And then the other thing was the Salem's Lot miniseries. Salem's Lot is it's a book written by Stephen King. There was an adaptation of it, I believe, in like 1979. I believe it was. Yeah, it's written on my sheet. I should look at my sheet. In 1979. So, and one of the things was the vampires are tapping on this window, and it's like, Mark, let me in, let me in. And as you know anything about vampire lore, you have to let them in. They can't just come into your house. And I was sleeping on the top bunk of a bunk bed, and there were two windows. The house is shaped weird. So one to my right and one behind my head. And every time I would go to bed and close my eyes, I would see that kid tapping on the window. And it freaked me out so bad. And the vampire on there, and I just found out today, because I didn't know this, Toby Hooper, actually directed the whole series. And he is a very famous horror director, and I did not know it was him. But that thing freaked the crap out of me when I was a kid. For a very long time, I was scared. That's one where the book wasn't as scary as the show was. And really, really, really had a problem with that. All right, text line 71307.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to recover. I made an awful mess over there, but we're not going to talk about that. Apparently, in Spartanburg, the Spartanburg County celebrated Halloween. If someone is dressed up as a cop, then they're probably a cop, so you shouldn't go and mess with them. Apparently, they saw lots of blue lights all around them when they woke up again. So you just, don't.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you probably should not do that.
No.
Yeah.
We had the Twilight Zone episodes when the guy saw something out on the airplane.
Oh, yeah.
wing.
Yeah. That was John.
Something really
it was John
scary?
Lithgow.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, he ended up in the ambulance with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Gremlins.
Yes.
Find it hard to accept that OD, that's how it's spelled, never had candy. Never had candy corn. You okay? Help.
La life goes on. Go ahead.
Yes, here we go.
Are we doing the la-las again?
No, this is different.
This is Obla Di
we
Obla.
went Beatles.
We went the Beatles, who are bringing out a new I will talk about that in a minute. Find it hard to believe that ODE never had candy corn before. I thought he was from Ireland, not somewhere else. I'm like, okay.
Well, like maybe Russia. Maybe they don't have it in Russia.
Maybe they don't have it in Russia.
Or Canada. Canada, because you always get people think you're from Canada.
Canada.
And Canada probably doesn't have candy corn.
Then we got someone that says your text starts with ends with 720. Night Gallery. That show was on the air from 1970 to 1973. Creation of Rod Serling, the father of the Twilight Zones in Canada. Scary stuff, eh?
Yeah, Night Gallery was pretty freaky. I was like 5 when it came out, so I watched a little bit of it, but not that much. All right, on the stream, let's see. The puppets on Mr. Rogers were creepy. Yeah, they were. Mr. Rogers, period, was creepy. I know I've had this argument with Rob Brown as the Rob Brown Show. Still don't understand it. Still don't get it. Never will.
How?
But
how did they figure that out?
I don't know. But Mr. Rogers was creepy. Let's see. Trey says, for me, it was V when the people ripped their faces off and revealed that they were lizard people. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, that was pretty messed up. And the second iteration of it, the remake, We Are of Peace Always. So there's that, and it's like actually bite people's heads off. Trey asked, we were doing Ask Odie in the last segment. What was the popular for Irish kids to dress up as in Halloween?
Dracula. Always Dracula or a witch. But here was the costume, and the costume is very easy to make. You can make it yourself at home. You know what a black refuse sack is?
No.
Bin liner, bin bag. You know the big
Trash bag.
trash bags.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
The big.
Thank you.
That's my interpreter over there.
Yes.
The big.
Yeah,
Black
it's not
trash
speak
bags.
Irish.
The big kind of not the white trash bags, but the black ones.
The hefties.
Yep, the hefties.
Okay.
You cut a hole in the top, like in the sealed part, just to fit your head through, and you could put it over your head, and then you cut a line down the middle, and all of a sudden, ta-da! It's a black cape, and that's your costume. And shut up and go trick or treating. It's almost like I'm back home. Shut up, that's your costume. Now go trick or treating.
Hey, when you're poor and you don't have a lot, I mean, I'm not saying you were poor, but
No,
I mean,
but
it's just, you
no
know.
imagination.
Ah, there
Yeah.
we go. There,
I wanted to dress up as a lot of different things, but shut up, get out there. That'll do you. And don't come back unless you have loads of candy. Except we call it sweets.
Sweets, yes.
And then they always disappeared with the sweet tax.
When did you stop trick or treating, Matthew? Do you remember when you stopped trick or treating?
I trick or treated for a lot longer than some people because I had a younger brother who was 5 years younger than me.
Yeah,
So
that's
I would
why.
tag along.
yeah, that's why. Sure.
So I trick or treated until, gosh, I was maybe 13 or
I
14.
thought he was going to say last year. Yeah, I stopped last year because, once people started recognizing me for
Look,
the
if
news,
people-
it was
if
time to
people are
stop.
If people want to give me free candy, I'll trick or treat all I need to.
There
if-
you
if
go.
I
You
get free
guys have
candy
been
for it
killing the
still.
candy I brought in tonight.
Mhm.
So, I mean, let's talk about scary movies. All right. The top grossing horror films of all time. Some of these first of all, what do you consider a horror film, Matthew?
A movie that is meant to scare you.
Okay. So, Cameron, what do you consider a horror film?
I'd go with the same definition of Matthew. Just
All right. For me, I think it has to involve a monster or supernatural or something like that. Odie, what do you consider a horror film?
I would say, yeah, something that frightens the bejesus out of you.
All right. So I looked up the top 10 highest grossing horror movies of all time. Some of these I don't consider a horror movie. All right. Number 10 was The Omen. And I'm probably the only one in this room who saw The Omen. All right. Number 2, I got to forget that Odie's a little bit older, which is about the Antichrist and Damien. And it was the original one. The original one was pretty freaky because it had
The Uncle Christ.
What's his name, where the glass slid off the back of the truck and the glass cut his head off and his head rolled down.
Yeah.
That freaked me out. That was in 1976 when that came out. I was 8. I should not have seen that.
Why were you
was
watching
the road
it?
at an incline, or
Here's
did it get a
the
lot of
thing.
momentum?
Here's the thing. My mom would go to the drive-in
Yeah.
because you double feature. So you would tell me and my sister not to look over the seat. We
But
ain't gonna
you-
listen.
You still listen to it?
Yeah, well, we didn't.
Scariest part of The Omen is the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky too. All right, number 9 is What Lies Beneath. I haven't seen that. That's the one movie I haven't seen.
Yeah, good movie. Wouldn't consider it to be a horror, more of a kind of a thriller kind of thing.
By the way, The Omen made $257.7 million. What Lies Beneath made 259.9. Number 8 was Alien. See, I consider that a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, that's
I don't
sci-fi.
consider that a horror movie, although it was pretty scary.
Oh, it was scary, and
Yeah.
there was lots of jumpies.
I
but
would
yeah.
almost.
It's definitely a horror movie. It's a sci-fi horror.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
You can
guess it
mix
is
genre.
sci-fi horror.
You can mix genres.
So I was 11.
No.
I was 11 when it came out, and it freaked me out. I mean, the fact that they couldn't kill the thing. I mean, usually by the end of a movie, you're killing the thing, and they really were struggling with that. All right, number 7 is the Amityville Horror. That was get out.
Yeah.
All the flies on the windows
Yeah.
and everything, and it was based on a true story. And because of that, and that house actually exists.
Yeah.
It's been for sale a couple of times since the show's been on the air.
Yeah.
And that made $310.3 million.
Okay.
Number 6 is Jaws 2. I don't consider
Will
Jaws.
you get
Yeah,
off the day? Seriously.
They consider it a horror film.
I wouldn't even consider it to be a
it's-
shark film.
It might as well be a documentary.
Check it out.
Oh, you see, that was your phone there, Lonzo,
Yeah.
and it made noises.
It is.
So I'm just going to cue it up, and you can just, I'm just going to go over here, and I'm just going to grab this, and just because,
it's okay.
Yeah,
No, because it's turned off. No.
Did it or did it not make noises?
But the phone is turned off,
Yeah.
and it started talking. That's not my fault.
That's just spooky.
Oh.
The phone. You want to nude me? You go ahead. But it's
No,
not.
I'm gonna take the general
All
consensus
right,
on this one.
no. Let's take a vote.
Yeah, general
Let's
consensus.
take a vote. Should I be noobed?
Yeah, because his phone started talking. Now it could have been a ghost.
Nah, I don't think he gets noobed.
So in the studio, we're going with.
I think if his phone was talking, then it wasn't actually off, and he just thought he turned it off.
Yeah, you
I checked
see.
it. It was off.
So that's 2-2, and we need the casting vote.
All right, text line 71307. Should I be noobed? Say yes or no. 71307. Should I be noobed? The first one who texts through, you guys know how to do this game. Then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Haven't got one yet. No,
Okay,
because
well,
I'm not looking at the page.
If nothing happens, then I don't get noobed.
I'm just waiting.
All right, on the stream, Chris says nah.
Yeah, there you go. You're safe.
Okay, but I did say text line specifically. 71307. Should I be noobed? Should I not be noobed? Are you looking at the text line?
I am looking at the text.
No
line.
one's texting in.
Nobody has.
No one's texting in to tell me whether. I
No,
should
we're
be
getting a
noobed
lot
or
of
not.
people who are saying that The Exorcist was the scariest film.
Okay, all right.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
was-
you thought Elm Street was bad. You go to Elm Street,
Mhm.
look out. All right, go ahead and noob me because you want to, and you
No,
haven't had a
no,
chance
no,
to do it.
no,
I'll take
no.
it. I'll take it.
No.
Even though sometimes circumstances happen and it's not your fault, but I would take the blame. I was
There you
willing
go.
to do it.
Mark says noob him.
See, there you go. Just noob me. You
No,
know you want to.
No,
you know you want to.
Oh,
It's mo-
there you go. Yeah, okay.
Was there a text?
There's lots of them.
Okay, all right.
So just put that one there. No,
All right. And
yeah, I feel better about mine. Mine was a
Yeah.
lot worse than yours.
yes, it was.
Like tremendously
yeah,
amount
it
worse.
was. Let's not go back. All right,
But-
number 5 of the highest grossing horror films of all time is It.
What is it?
From 2017. It.
What is it?
Pennywise.
It's it.
I'm not going with the one hit wonder there.
We all float down here, George.
Yes, you'll float too. Although this was the version where he like took
Tim
the
Cur-
arm and was flapping it. It wasn't
Tim Curry?
No.
Wasn't it? Oh,
No, that was a TV movie. So these are actually movies in the theater. That movie made $328.9 million, and it wasn't scary to me. But
nah.
I thought Tim Curry as Pennywise was scarier.
Yes.
Skarsgård was just freaky.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, number 4. I don't consider a horror movie, but I guess if you're a kid, you might think it was a horror movie, and that's Gremlins. Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. Like
yeah,
Die
so
Hard.
I don't know why
It's a Christmas movie where
I guess it could be
many
a Christmas
people
horror.
die.
Well, that's true. Well, not a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
all
they-
right.
Listen, they die at Christmas, so it's nice.
That's not how that works.
It's not how that works.
Is it not?
All right, this
Okay.
came out in 1984. Matthew and Cameron were not alive, so
Go on.
so
Oh, great. Okay,
so they
Gremlins.
wouldn't have seen it as a kid, probably. Well, Cameron saw it as a kid. He thought it was funny.
I was 3.
Wait,
Yeah.
which one? Gremlins?
Gremlins, yeah,
Yeah, I left my butt off the entire
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Do you want to do the top 3 when we come back?
What about a tree?
Top of
No,
the 3?
no, we're gonna do one more just
Okay.
because you suggested it. All right, number 3 is The Sixth Sense, which made
He was dead at the end.
$518.8 million. I'd never seen it. It didn't interest me. So I don't know if it was a scary movie or not. I know all about it. And
it was a jumpy movie.
yeah, and I just saw Haley Joel Osment in something. Yes, I know what it was. But
You're
anyway,
just not gonna say what.
yeah, I'm not. We're going to take a break right now. We come back, we'll do our top 2 as well as our top 5. Keep it coming. What was your scariest movie as a kid or even as an adult? Because some of mine are as an adult. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
I missed that ad completely. That's
Yeah, Tim Curry definitely was scary in that. What?
that set. I missed it completely. I didn't even see the set. The set mode.
I don't know
what
why you're still so.
happened.
All right, there's a thing in radio.
I know you don't go back.
5 minutes ago.
I know.
That's still
I
5
know.
minutes. And it's actually 20 minutes ago. Let it go. You've been properly punished.
Let it go.
Hey, don't do it again.
Okay.
There we go.
Would you like a proper
There we
caning
go.
to?
If that's what you want, don't do it again. You have been punished.
Punished me.
All right.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No,
We're
no
going with
canings.
the we're
No
going with the
canings.
crunch.
I'll give a caning if I
No
need
canings.
to.
Sit down.
You've been a bad
We're
boy.
going.
Odie.
We're going with the crunch.
Best one, in my opinion. If you don't think so, you're wrong. So what was your favorite out of them? All of them.
The 100 grand.
It's because it has caramel in it, I think.
Or caramel.
Yeah. Or caramel. So let's ask Odie, do they say caramel or caramel in Ireland?
I think we know the answer.
Caramel.
Do they? Okay.
I need to put it in a bed.
Do you say caramel or do you say caramel?
The correct answer is caramel.
Oh, yeah? Then why is there a Mount Carmel hospital? It's not Mount Caramel. Why is there a Mount Carmel? I think there actually is a Mount Carmel. See, I got nothing. I got nothing from the gallery here.
Well, the gallery is trying to do other things.
Like you can't multitask.
I can sometimes.
Are you one of the nearly 10 million families that own a timeshare? Unfortunately, many families stuck in timeshares have learned the dark side of ownership, as their timeshare ends up being nothing.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm finding myself doing something I don't normally do, wishing I hadn't worn this mask because it hurts.
Take it off.
No, I'm not going to do that because I didn't go deep with the makeup underneath because I knew I didn't have to.
It's okay. It's nearly all gone, man. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't look like it on the thing for me.
It still looks good on the stream.
Oh, it does. It looks good, but it's nearly all gone.
I was about to say, I'm just trying to Iron Man this because, man, this thing hurts.
Take it off then.
No.
Listen, if there's no pain, it's not actually art, Odie. Do you not know that?
No, I'm not an artist.
And we're suffering for the people.
That's what we do.
Just not, though.
Where's the fun in that?
Fun does not suffer.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo here along with Odie and Cameron and Matthew. And we are dressed for Halloween because it's almost Halloween. We're having a good time. And Odie decided to play some pirate music to bring himself back because
it's pirate radio.
he gets theme music and no one else does. It is pirate radio. He's right. All right,
When are we going to do guerrilla radio?
Yeah.
Producer.
Yeah, we were talking about the top 10 grossing horror films of all time.
That's so gross, man.
We have 2 left. Number 2 is The Exorcist, which came out in 1973, made $996.5 million. I would tell you, my mom went to see this with my cousins. She came home and slept with the light on for a week because it was pretty freaky. I watched it by myself. And so my grandma and grandpa passed away and they had lived across the street. My mom went over there to live in the house as a caretaker until they sold the house. So I lived in our house by myself my senior year in high school.
Nice.
But I'm a good kid, so nothing untoward happened.
Lies.
Yes. No, it's not a lie, actually.
I think the word you were looking for actually was boring.
Yes, probably that. But so
kid.
I decided to watch The Exorcist by myself, and that was good.
Yeah.
And then when I got done, we had a hot water tank that just sounded like it was breathing.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm 16 or 17. I graduated when I was 17, so I don't remember. It was one of those.
Were you 16 going on
Yeah,
17?
yeah. And I had to go over there and stay all night over there at the other house because it freaked me out so much.
Before you get to number one, we have Texter 761 says that Alien was the scariest that he ever watched. He was 8 when he saw it, or he could have been 5 or 6.
I mean, imagine watching that at that age.
Like
yeah,
5 or 6.
Yeah.
That's, and as he said himself, scared the bejesus out of him.
Yes, and probably some other fluids. So number one, I don't count, but so to me, Exorcist was number 1. But on this list, Jaws is number 1.
What?
And again, don't count it as a horror film. It did make $1.15 billion, but
and that's why.
Would you consider it being scary to get eaten by a giant shark?
Yeah, but that's see to me, that could happen in real life. A lot of horror films can't, and that makes them scarier. Huh?
Yeah, well. So Lonzo, how about you tell us your top 5? Your fully top 5.
No, because we're going to go around.
Fine.
You just don't. It's more fun for me that way.
That's great. Yeah, you just sit in your tower and just,
Yes.
tell us how to do stuff.
Yes.
Don't listen to the producer.
As I
All
have
good.
said in a rap song, from my tower, I produce executive. So there we go.
He's pulling the executive card.
And he's
All
going
right.
to hit you where you live.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
How do
All
I
right.
remember that?
Yeah, because it was a good rap. Anyway, take that, Russ.
Straight at it.
My number 5 favorite or scariest movie of all time is another movie that I should not have watched. It was in 1974. I was 6.
No.
We were at the drive-in, and Mom went there to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice.
My sister, who was 4, or she could have been 5 at the time. It's depending on what part of the year it was. I would say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and she'd start crying because she shouldn't have been watching it either. And we both watched it. So that's my number 5, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sometimes in the darkness, out of the corner of my eye, I can see the old man trying to get blood out of the girl who's in the, well, it's with a hammer. It was just, all right, Cameron, what's your number 5?
The first Paranormal Activity.
Oh, that's freaky, dude. That absolutely was.
That is mine as well. No, well.
All right, Matthew, you're number 5.
I don't think I can even list 5 scary movies
That's fine.
that I've watched.
That's fine. So you're going to go pass.
I'm gonna go pass.
All right, Odie. number
Darby
5.
O'Gill and the Little People.
I get it. Because I was a little kid when I watched that.
Yeah.
And the Banshee freaked me out.
Yep.
And there was some other, him in the carriage.
The Headless Horseman
Yeah.
in the carriage.
Yeah, in the carriage. and
He opens the door without touching the door and he goes, Darby O'Gill,
yeah.
get in. I'm like,
As a
"You
little-
see?
As a little kid, I get that.
And that horse had green snot in his nose and he was just,
There's nothing scarier than green snot.
he had green
Even though I think most snot is
ectoplasm
good.
coming out
Orange
of other
snot.
places.
Yeah.
And it was just scary.
All right, number 4 for me, and these are my favorite horror films of all time. And you may say, well, that's not scary. This one, not necessarily scary, but I loved it. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
Oh,
It was my favorite.
Yeah.
Dokken was doing the soundtrack, and they actually fought back against Freddy in their dreams.
Yeah.
And as someone who's had very vivid dreams their entire life, and when I'm lucid dreaming and I can fight back, I do.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like, okay, that's close to what I experience sometimes.
Coming for
It
Yeah,
always feels good to choke slam the sleep paralysis demon.
it does. All right, Cameron, number 4 for you.
The first Halloween, which I watched, I think, when I was a little too young, probably. And I had a severe fear of closets.
All right,
Wow.
so the first Halloween, are we talking about Jamie Lee Curtis or are you talking about the Rob Zombie?
No, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay, all
Like
right.
the original one.
Okay, all right. Matthew,
watched those when
is
I
it
was
another
older, so-
pass?
I think you're gonna be seeing a trend with me for this
Okay,
segment.
all right. So if well, we're going to go to you anyway. 'cause
We
you're
get to
part
the
of
fourth
show.
pass, you're getting a caning.
Yes. Oh no, not the
Okay.
caning. All right.
I'm gonna
Odie.
go.
Think
I'm
fast.
gonna go with Tremors.
Okay. Yeah. Giant earthworms.
Yeah, it got me a little bit kind of heebie-jeebied, just a little bit.
Yeah. Again, I could see
Yeah.
that, and Reba McEntire alone was scary in that
A
movie.
little bit.
Yeah, she just
Reva
yeah.
is always scary.
Yeah, but she knew how to use that gun. That was the scary part. A fiery redhead with a rifle. You know,
She must be
yeah.
Irish. Yeah.
yeah, and
Either the worms
she
are
was
going to
with-
get you or Reva will.
she was also with the dad from Family Ties, I think.
Sha-la-la-la.
Michael Gross, I think it was, and then Kevin Bacon was in it. Yeah.
He was the
Yeah.
guy from Family Ties. I'd forgotten. He turned
you're talking about
into
the
a
dad.
gun-toting.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 3, didn't scare me so much, but I love the movie, and it's American Werewolf in London.
Yes, brilliant
And-
movie.
And that came out in 1981. Oh no, actually, it did scare me. The nightmare scenes when he was
Mhm.
having the nightmare scenes, and then when he wakes up and thinks he's awake,
And he sees Dave.
and then no, before that, he wakes up and thinks he's awake, and then the nightmare is not done.
oh,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
Nazis
yeah,
or
yeah.
something. Nazi things come
Nazi
out
werewolves.
and
yeah.
kill everyone.
Mhm.
And one of my top 3 interviews, favorite interviews of all time, was getting to interview David Naughton
Mhm.
and talk to him about that. So that American Werewolf in London, and it won a bunch of awards for his special effects and stuff. When he transformed, it was excellent. The soundtrack really good too.
Yes, it
It was
was.
a really good soundtrack. All right, Cameron, you're number 3.
I didn't realize that it was actually a TV series, but I was going to go with Salem's Lot.
Yeah, but it's a TV series.
Yeah.
I'm still saying it.
Okay.
So
All right. There you go.
it's like I'm vetoing the category.
Matthew calls in.
Matthew, does your mom have favorite horror movies? That worked out good for the music. I just thought I would ask. All right.
When in doubt,
She's at
ask
the
his
beach
mom.
right now. I doubt she's listening.
Okay. All right. Odie.
I would say Critters.
Yeah.
The first one, I was very
Yeah.
young when I saw it.
Bring us to Kreitz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet neither one of them have seen Critters.
Nope.
It's campy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also a little freaky.
Yeah, I think I was about.
It's like Gremlins, but they have really sharp teeth.
I was
and
about
it's
6 or
yeah.
7. Yeah.
Yeah, I really. All right, Friday the 13th Part 2 is my number 2. It was 1981. I wasn't a teenager yet,
I was being born.
and my stepdad at the time, after he took me and 3 of my friends, we rode in the back of a truck because it was legal then.
Mhm.
Because it was the 80s.
Yes, and he kept going really slow next to bushes and things like that. And so I think it was a collective fright. We watched the movie. We were too young to see it, but we saw it anyway. I don't know if you noticed there's a trend there. But so he'd slow down, and then we got home to my house, and they're all neighborhood kids. And then he's like, "What was that? What?" I mean, he just freaked us out so bad to the point that I always remember that.
Mhm.
And I've also got to interview some Jasons and some Michael Myers and some guys like that.
That's pretty cool.
All right, Cameron, what is your number 2?
The Ring.
Ah,
Which,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that messed me up when I was a kid. I was terrified of VHS tapes afterwards. We went to a
7 days.
like a scary thing in the mall. One of the things that they had, which I was not expecting, was a ring girl popping out of the TV. It was extremely well done.
you know,
They
you
had the
talked about
lights.
Austin earlier. As I recall,
Yeah,
that's who you were
He
there
and
with.
I were there, and he and I both ran for our lives.
The ring thing is freaky. People say that the Japanese version, which was the original, was scarier. I've watched parts of the Japanese version. I think the American version was scarier. She was creepy, but she was like creepy in an anime sense, and it didn't bother me as
It
much.
took you out of it a little.
Yeah, it did. All right,
Matthew.
Odie, you're number 2. He's staring at
He's
me.
staring.
I'm not. That's I know I'm a skeleton, but I'm scared.
Watership Down.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That terrified
Do
me.
not watch Watership Down.
Do, but make sure you're like in
Don't
the
let
middle of
kids
the
watch
day.
it,
No, it has to be midday. It has to be outside in the sunshine with no rabbits anywhere near you. No rabbits
All
at
right.
all.
So who wins between the Monty Python rabbit and those rabbits?
Monty Python rabbits.
who says that they're any different?
That's true.
Maybe that rabbit is from Watership
maybe
Down.
that rabbit was Bright Eyes.
All right. The Watership Down. It's like politics and intrigue and war.
Yeah.
And it's all in a rabbit warren.
Yeah.
And it's just you think it's a cartoon. How bad can it be? And
Cartoon from the 70s.
yeah, it was rough.
It is
dude.
terrible
I
animation,
I
but it is
remember-
scary.
I remember the clip that my dad showed me like a year or two ago. And
It's
it's just like
terrible.
they're both just like these two rabbits are just having a conversation. He just goes, "You son of a," and just bites his
Yeah.
throat out.
Yeah, rips
It's like,
it clean
oh
out.
my
Yeah.
god!
It's vicious.
It just took such a hard turn.
Mhm.
All right, my number 1 scariest movie of all time. And by the way, I have favorite horror movies. I love Lost Boys. I usually watch it around Halloween, or it's just Death by Stereo and all that kind of stuff. And
You're
as
eating
we talked
maggots,
about
dude.
earlier,
Yeah.
yeah, those are maggots. Do you like those maggots?
Mm.
Yeah. But my number 1 is John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, and that is never going to change for me. You can poo-poo it all you
Oh
want.
no, I'm not poo-pooing it.
But here's the thing:
Where's
if
the
you come
poo-poo?
from a religious standpoint, and you
yeah,
you grew up in the
yeah.
church,
Mhm.
I think it affects you more. I went to see that with my cousin, the guy who drew
Mhm.
the posters.
Yep.
Me and him went to see it, and we completely freaked out. And it's not
Yeah.
just about the concept that the devil's in a jar in the basement of a church. It's the concept of interdimensional travel through mirrors, which is also freaky. And Alice Cooper was a zombie
Yeah.
that killed someone with like half a bike. And it was like, and it's just like no emotion, no nothing, just boom, just killed him.
Looking at it through those eyes, yeah, I can see that.
All right.
I can see that.
Number ones, and then we'll go to break. I know we're running late. All right, Cameron, number one.
The Tim Curry version of It.
Also a TV movie, but that works.
I don't care.
Yes.
Matthew,
Good.
number one.
Think of any horror movie.
The scariest movie.
Just name a
you've
horror
seen.
movie that you've seen.
Don't say Driving for Lunch with Odie.
So I
in
didn't
his
have a
truck.
horror movie last year
Horror
either.
movie.
Yeah.
But I did mention one movie that was technically a horror movie that was quite the fun time, called Most Likely to Die, which is a schlock horror movie about a bunch of kids that go into a cabin and one of their old high school people dresses up and goes killing them in high school graduation themed means. And my favorite death was when the guy takes off his graduation cap and reveals that there's a bunch of blades for the rim, and he throws it like a ninja star to decapitate somebody, and it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Wow, that's like,
but it's also hilarious, and I love
like
it.
Odd Job from James Bond. All right, what's your number one?
I'm going to tell you my number one when we come back because I have a wee little story behind it.
Oh, just
Yeah.
a wee little story.
Oh, we don't get
you
to
know
tell
what?
our wee little
Wee
story.
little
No.
We
have,
had to go through all
by the
of our
way,
stuff quickly.
we have wee little time. You are listening
Yes.
to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
You could also tell that wee little story as a stream exclusive.
What?
I like the chanting.
Yes, me too. Yeah,
You can tell your story after my story.
I agree with you, Trey. It did make a lot of people nervous about going to the ocean, but I lived in Ohio half my life and never seen the ocean until we moved here. So it's like, yeah, I don't know what they're scared of. But
Have
of
you
course,
ever
all we have is
seen
lakes.
the rain?
So
I want to know. You want to come back with anything in particular?
go ahead and hit roundtable, and you can talk about yours in roundtable.
Okay.
And then we got how many breaks?
That's it.
Just one more break?
One more after that.
Okay, yeah. All right, cool. All right, we had an oops and some other stuff that we're not going to be able to get to, but that's fine. Did not hear that, Brandon. That's sad.
What?
Really? Drowning? Huh.
Oh my God. That's kind of.
Well, that's bad timing.
Really?
That's terrible.
Really? Really?
Like Matthew.
I mean,
Stop.
you know, it's yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Friend star Matthew Perry dies at 54 after a.
I was going to say he's about my age, so.
54, yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrible. He was a good guy.
Oh, it's that. Okay, it's that guy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Just tell me Joey's still okay.
Well, not after today.
Joey doesn't share food.
What?
Joey doesn't share food.
Yep, we know Brandon. We're just kind of joking around.
Brandon, could you be telling us any more times?
He also he did a bunch of movies, and apparently he made out with Valerie Bertinelli while Eddie Van Halen was passed out on the couch. And could have went further, but he didn't because he loved Van Halen. Not enough to not kiss Valerie Bertinelli, but
Good or X?
good on you. Good or X.
Good or X?
Stinking wig.
Seriously, what's wrong with me? It's too tight.
That's gonna bother you like for weeks.
Hey, Odie. But you know,
I think you deserve it after the first segment.
That was so good.
Willy Wonka is judging you.
He always judges you.
Good day, sir. You stole this.
All right, Brandon, don't make me ban you. I hate snow. I am the snow miser. Bah!
And the butterfly.
All right. Go ahead. I didn't have my mic on.
Oh yeah, no, that's
No,
fine.
no,
well
you
deserved.
go-
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go-
yeah.
you
No,
go
we're
right
back.
ahead.
we have
We're
a
back.
we have a well-deserved one.
Yeah, yeah. This one
Oh, you are?
counts.
Okay.
No, no.
him.
This one absolutely counts. Yeah, go ahead. I think this is probably your favorite holiday now.
Yeah, well, no, because
Twice.
I haven't had a clean run.
Yeah, you did not, but
So
you
I did have
know,
a clean run last.
what-
Yeah.
one for you, two for me. But we still have 18 minutes. I'm
So,
counting. I'm
But
counting
you know
on
who's
you.
clean? Me and
I'm
Matthew.
counting on you to tie it up.
So
Come on, I'm counting on you. There you
before
go.
the ad break, we were talking about the scariest movies
It's
that
like,
we
I'll
had,
do that, and I was back in
and the
face.
scariest movie that I had was Cameron's number 5, The Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
And it wasn't so much the movie, but it was the location I watched it in. I was about 21, 22. I was working the night shift in a factory that was haunted. It was actually haunted because the old landlord and landlady from like 200 years before that, they were both murdered on the way from their house that was on the grounds of the factory, going to the local town. So they were murdered, and
So
yeah,
is this our Irish poltergeist?
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And I watched Paranormal Activity in the one of the buildings, which was actually the barn that they turned into a tooling room where they make, because I was a tool maker back in the previous life. And I was in there at 3 o'clock in the morning, not doing the job I was supposed to be doing. I don't care. I never liked that factory anyway. And watching Paranormal Activity in a darkened room on my iPod. So I was concentrating way too hard on that movie, and it scared the living bejesus out of me.
I'm shaking my head because of an interception.
Okay, that was terrible.
but yeah, it's just,
I'm
yeah.
glad Ohio State takes precedence over my story
I can
of
do-
harrowing tales.
I can do multiple things at once. The only reason why I explained it is because it seemed to bother you. So it's me
To
shaking my
reminisce.
head.
So what possessed you to watch a very scary movie in
Have
a
you-
haunted place?
Have you met
If you're
me?
going to watch a scary movie, that's the kind of place to watch it. If
Yes.
you want to be scared, that's the place to do it at. You don't watch it with broad daylight and all the lights in the house
Oh,
on.
absolutely
No.
not.
And I do ridiculously stupid things by times. My wife has said to me that I am the stupidest smart person she knows. So yeah,
To be fair, it is a constant trait with smart people to do incredibly dumb things.
yes, we do.
It's a common sense thing usually because but I don't think that applies in this case because if you're going to watch a scary movie, that's
Here's
the
the thing,
perfect place
that
to
was
do it.
before you were
Yeah.
a doctor,
Yes,
so it's excusable.
and a pirate.
And a pirate.
And a
Yes,
pirate.
absolutely. And a pirate.
Were you a pirate first or a doctor first?
Yar.
All right. So we are in a nerd roundtable, so we have to ask a question. The question is, there are two questions. One, Matthew might participate in. The second one, he absolutely will. Michael Myers versus Leatherface versus Jason Voorhees versus Freddy Krueger. Odie, who you got?
Freddie,
Why?
he's going to get you when you're asleep.
Okay. All right. Cameron.
Mhm.
All right, we have conclusive evidence that Freddy cannot take Jason
Yes, we do.
in Jason versus Freddy.
That is just hearsay.
No,
and
no, there was a
it's-
movie.
Yeah, no.
No,
It
there
is
was a movie.
evidence filmed evidence.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Freddie let
Jason
him
would
win. Freddie let him win.
Leatherface is just a dude. Michael Myers
Just
is
a
not.
dude, man.
He's a very messed up.
All right, I
dude.
want to tell you, Leatherface is the stockiest out of all of them, except for the latest Halloween thing where that dude was like 10 feet tall, and I don't count that one. But Leatherface, kind of stocky, and he wears like human faces. That's pretty creepy.
I still think Jason would win. He's got all the magic on his side.
All right, Matthew, do you have a say in this? Who do you think would win?
Definitely on the side of Jason. He definitely seems like the physically strongest individual while also having the ability to basically just kind of walk off any form of damage whatsoever.
He just tanks things.
He takes things, and any time that he seems to die, he doesn't die, even if it's on screen. So I'm pretty sure that he's definitely got the most hacks going into it.
All right, I'm also going to go with Jason. But the thing is, the reason why Freddy is not in the running for me is all you got to do is bring him into the real world, and you can beat him. And it's been done a bunch of times. Jason,
but it's been done a bunch of times, so he keeps coming back.
Yeah,
so
he
you
does.
can't
But
beat
so
him.
do all the other ones. Jason and Michael Myers both are supernatural beings, but Jason was chained in Camp Crystal Lake for years. Came back, was buried, got struck by lightning, came back, was in space in Jason X. So I'm going to go with Jason.
That's just like your
He certainly
opinion,
gave
man.
it to them.
Well, it is. That's what we're doing. It's around.
Oh,
it's
okay,
It's a debate. That's
Sorry,
That's
I
kind
was
of what you do.
channeling my inner Big Lebowski.
All right. T2 Tim Snow posted on his timeline a thing of Vegeta beating Batman and Superman. Cameron, can Vegeta beat Batman and Superman?
Depending on a couple of factors. I think, all right, so Superman could probably beat him by taking Vegeta out to space. If it's a straight up just no holds barred in like regular forms of them. Well, because the other question is just like, what form of Superman, what form of Vegeta?
All right, Vegeta is Vegeta Blue.
Oh, Vegeta Blue would probably kill most forms of him. I don't know why everybody acts like.
Remember, we're talking about the guy who hates DC. So
yes, that's a very good point.
Okay, all right. So Matthew.
I definitely don't see how Vegeta beats Superman. Superman has literally lifted infinity. So
All right, so Matthew is right. Superman would beat Vegeta. Batman would too. And here's the reason why. He just kidnapped Bulma. And we know that that's Vegeta's weakness.
Very true.
Don't you touch my Bulma.
I will say one
mean,
other thing that I think people are missing out
Batman
on
beats
that.
anybody with prep time.
Exactly.
Because the other thing, Vegeta needs to breathe. If Vegeta can't breathe, then he can't live. That's like the one weakness that like the Saiyans have compared to like some other people like Frieza.
All right, before we take our final break and get to Roundtable, let me tell you, South Carolina Comic-Con Junior is coming up tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Make sure you come out to the Greenville Convention Center, $15 to get in. And if you have kids, 12 and under, they get in free. There's also going to be trick-or-treating there. Certain of the vendors will have some candy, so bring the kids along for that. Dress up, have a good time. We're going to be there. We're going to have fun. If you've never been to a con, this is a good starter con for you. It's a third to a quarter the size of the big one in the summer. So come on out, have a good time. Check that out. Also, make sure you go to our website at 989WRD and get you some of that Patriot wear and wear it proudly around the upstate or in Georgia or in North Carolina. All right, we're going to take a break. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. All right, I'm not going to say I didn't deserve to be nude, but I cannot see my button.
Yeah, no, that's why I got you.
You know, neither
so
could
I thought I turned it on and I hit the wrong button, which is still a newable offense. It is.
And that's why I turned it off, because I saw your.
All Odie's going to take out of this day is he got to noob me twice, and he's going to go home and it's going to be like he has won victory.
I've
Victory!
taken my bow
Victory!
and my curtain call.
I request fire another.
You're not singing that horrible Queen song, were you?
Please.
Yeah, no.
That having a good time thing, the worst song ever created by
No.
Queen?
Having a good time.
That's terrible.
I was singing We Are the
Terrible.
Champions.
Oh, okay.
I think I just found it. Yeah. Here you go.
Oh no! The light has been exposed. Oh no! He Melvined me.
When I get older.
It's gonna be hard to walk that off.
Many years from now,
Best 2 out of 3.
will you still be sending me a Valentine? Birthday greetings, bottle of wine. If I've been out till the 2:45, you lock the door. Will you still feed me, or will you still feed me when I'm 64? I don't know why
Yeah.
that popped into my head, but it did.
It's a good one, Trey.
And here's the thing: if you join before October 30th, you'll get your second month free and save even more. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings. The deadline against October 30th, so now is a great time to call 888-SHARE-89. That's 888-SHARE-89. 888-SHARE-89. Joining me now, my good friend.
It looks like there's a fire over here. Look, it's.
I'm out walking a lot.
We were talking.
Hey man, Dave's not here, man.
Snake is preparing for another night incursion of some sort.
Many.
I'm just fanning my face.
My back is sore.
I'm not trying to do anything intimidating here. I'm just...
Bring out your dead.
Bring out your dead. Jesu Domine.
But I'm not dead.
Dona eis recrie.
That was very well done.
I love that movie.
And you shall count to 3.
5, sir. And then love it.
No,
at
Solid
thy
Snake,
fell.
not Snake Plissken. Although when he puts the eye patch on, he could be Snake Plissken.
Could be Snake Plissken.
It'll be Escape from Greenville.
Does Matthew have a lot of Kurt Russellisms?
Yes.
Really?
Boyish charm with a little bit of edge to him. Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
I could see him in Big Trouble in Little China.
Why you went to that one? I'm just like.
Because Kurt Russell's in
Yeah,
that
no,
movie.
he is. Yeah, but that's not like.
This is the best film of all time.
Yes.
Big Trouble in Little China.
I wouldn't
It's an
associate it with it.
underrated gem.
Yes. Pork Chop
A
Express,
man gets so angry he dies. He blows up into trash.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, lightning round time. We're rocking out on a Saturday night. Hey, here on the Upstate Pulse, we're about to give you the lightning round stuff as the jam rains in the back. Well, I don't know. All right.
Oh,
We're going to keep going with Latin around. Latin
All
around
right,
starts
where's my
twice.
thing? All right.
Latin around doesn't strike twice. it
In a
strikes
statement
once.
issued on Friday, the Bernardo's thrift store reminds donators it deals exclusively with children's items. We therefore ask that you refrain from donating your used and unused marital aids, the statement reads.
Are they talking about extracurricular?
Yes, it's a thrift store in Wales.
Yeah, no, I know what Bernardo's is.
Bernardo's
Yeah.
spokesman says that the charity is always hugely appreciative of donations from the community, but it's fair to say that these items aren't quite the sort of toys they're looking for.
What if they washed them? No?
It's a new
still
and
no.
used. Yeah,
No,
yeah, you probably don't want to.
No.
You don't want to do that.
They want the charity down the street.
All right, this is going to be on the oops, but we didn't have time for oops. A Pennsylvania bank robber brought this to his robbery. Cameron, what did he bring to his robbery?
A llama.
Matthew, what did he bring to his robbery?
His nephew.
Okay.
I was going to say his kid.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys both are close, but
Really?
His
Yes.
mom or his dad or something.
I at least know how to play
One
along.
Pennsylvania man on Thursday decided to take his elderly woman with him to work, his mom. While that might seem like a nice gesture, it should be noted that the man works as a bank robber. Delaware County resident Glenn Allen Molkshevsky, 50, is accused of robbing the Santander Bank in Haverton at about 11 a.m.
I've been after that, varmint.
So he brought his mom. And so he got caught. She didn't get arrested.
But she wasn't really.
She wasn't driving. She was just in the passenger. Isn't she, though? She didn't say, now, don't you do that.
She probably didn't know what was happening.
I don't know, man.
I would be very surprised if she was fully aware what was going on.
I don't know. I
You gotta make a withdrawal. Okay.
Have you guys
I'll
not
sit right
seen any
here.
of the Fast and Furious movies?
I've seen one of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
honey,
Did you see the one with it? It's Helen Mirren is Jason Statham's mom?
What?
And she is a big time thief.
Yeah, but
And she can drive just like they can. It's amazing.
I don't even want to see that.
Why? You don't like Helen Mirren?
I do. I
Yeah.
mean, she's a gift.
She's really sexy for an older person. That's what you mean. What?
The term
Yeah,
dame
you
comes
do
to
mean
mind.
that. I know you
I
do.
didn't say
All right.
anything.
St. Augustine, Florida. There is a thing going on called Florida Man Festival.
Oh,
It's the
no.
Florida Man Games. Here's what you do. The games include weaponized pool noodle mud duel, which will take place inside the Florida Man Games Coliseum, which is an above-ground pool. Evading arrest obstacle course, where competitors will jump over fences, through backyards, and away from real police officers. Category 5 cash grab, where competitors will endure Category 5 hurricane winds as they try to grab as much cash as they can. And let's see, a race that lets you live a day in the life of a Florida man. Entitled A Catalytic Converter, 2 bikes, and a handful of copper pipes. Race against time. And finally, Beer Belly Florida Sumo.
You know, I'm going to say that it's actually not a competition. It is actually some crime gang, and they just want to get those numbers up.
All
You
right.
know,
So
that's-
no, this is an actual thing. It's a festival. You can buy tickets, and it's going
a
on in
recruiting
February.
mechanism.
You can bring your team of 5 with you to compete. We got 4.
We need one more.
No, we get
We just got to
T2.
go grab Tim. Yeah.
Yeah, we get Tim. We're in, dude.
All right, Tim. Here's some pipes. Go run.
There we go. Yeah.
I
So,
got the sumo taken care
Yeah,
of.
I want to do the pool noodles because I'm an expert at that.
I'll
And,
try the catalytic converter.
Okay,
you know.
why not? Why not? So what's Matthew? Matthew, you got to go with the hurricane winds. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's terrible.
I feel like the lightest person is probably the worst one to
Yeah.
throw in front of hurricane winds.
Hey,
I
we
think I
all-
should probably be the one to do the fence hop.
I was
we
gonna
all
say,
have our crosses to bear.
I was willing to take the L in the hurricane winds just to watch. I mean, that's the whole point of the hurricane games anyway.
There goes my Matthew.
Yeah.
Watch him as he goes.
All right, Highlander reboot officially moving forward with Henry Cavill in the starring role. You guys, I mean, he's going to play the coolest parts of every single franchise of all time.
Oh wow,
There,
I didn't know about that.
It's a rebooting, but the guy who is a director of John Wick is the guy who's doing it.
Ooh.
And he says there's a lot of mythology involved. So he wants, because there are quite a few
Yeah.
movies, and he wants to, he said John Wick was easier because there was no mythology.
Yeah.
In this case, he has to try to be true to the mythology. Looking forward to that. Also, want to thank everybody for being a part of the show tonight, and especially remind you to go to South Carolina Comic-Con Junior tomorrow, 11 to 6, Greenville Convention Center, $15 to get in, 12 and under get in free. You can meet Billy Gunn. You can't beat Billy Gunn because he's a lot bigger than you think.
He's so big.
Yes, he is. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Right up to the post. Shall
Man,
we?
my earbuds are caught in my wig.
Shall we de-costume in front of them?
No.
Shall we kill the illusion?
No.
Oons, oons,
Oh,
oons,
wow.
oons.
I didn't even know it was Matthew. Now we know. Way to go.
It was Matthew the entire
The
time.
entire time it was Matthew.
Me the whole time, and you didn't know.
We've been bamboozled.
You've been bamboozled.
We've been smeckledorked.
Smeckledorked indeed.
Bamboozled. No wonder it hurts. You've got that underneath.
Perhaps even
Somehow that's more
cattywampus.
horrifying without the hat.
Ooh.
Oh, are we actually just undoing this?
Goodbye, everybody.
See you later. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.